So, Allison, I just want to also reiterate that teachers will be working with their students, let's say in elementary school. They won't be Zooming and teaching the kids in the classroom at the same time. Is that correct?
Actually, so teachers have the option of doing that if they would like to do that, but it's not a requirement. Many
Okay.
teachers felt like it was going to be very difficult to teach students that are sitting in front of them and students at home at the same time and be able to manage that. But we have other teachers that may want to try that, and some, in fact, that have tried it already, that are thinking that they may want to try. It's just not required.
Okay. This is all new to all of us. So, we're going to do our best. Allison, what will students be doing in their off time? When I say off time, I meant in elementary school, if they are morning and they go home for the afternoon, or in secondary. What will happen on the days that they're not physically present in school?
Great question. So there's a number of things that students can be doing when they're not physically at school. In elementary, when they're not physically at school, they may be learning, practicing their reading online, or in a regular old-fashioned book, they could be reading, they could be practicing their math. Sometimes teachers provide videos or videotape lessons that students watch when they're off, when they're not at school, so that students can continue their learning, their writing, of course. Sometimes they're watching educational videos and then coming back to class the following day to discuss them after they've taken notes. So there's a number of things that and ways that students learn these days that involve multimedia. And we've purchased many digital applications for our students to learn in and from while they're at home as well, in all subject areas to be able to complement them.
Got it. Got it. Allison, for parents who have multiple kids in elementary school, will they be able to all come in the morning or in the afternoon? I'm sure it'll be so much easier for parents. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. So I know all of our principals have an incredibly busy job, but they are going to work with the families to make sure that younger siblings are with older siblings, and that, parents, you don't have to make two trips to school, because that would be very difficult for our families to do. So
Right.
certainly our principals are going to be putting AM families together or PM families, and not splitting families in different time frames.
It almost reminds me of year-round school where parents wanted the kids all on the same track
Yeah.
because it was so much easier, right? Kind of similar to that. So, will students get breaks during the school day while at school? Will they get a break?
They do. So elementary school students have a recess time. They have a 20-minute recess time. We again know that that's important for the brain and for learning, to just have time in between classes. Students also need social interaction, time to learn to play different games, and learn to get along with each other on the yard. And they need physical activity as well. We've all lacked that in the last year. So certainly, and then in high school, there'll be passing periods. Although students won't be moving down the hallways together, they just do need to take a break. They're going to need to be, restroom breaks and time for students to process the material. If you've
And
learned,
lunch, of course, lunch.
of course, lunch. And if students have, learned, been in algebra for 45 minutes, then they need some time to process
Yes,
their learning,
yes.
and to get ready for their next class.